have in my hand here the off-white Nike BLAZER Grim Reaper. And not only was I excited just to get my hands on the shoes, I was excited to kind of talk about Virgil Abloh's philosophy and methodology behind his creative process, because I find that stuff endlessly fascinating. And before I continue, if you haven't checked it out, please do read the 10 Icons Reconstructed. It was a digital book that Nike and Virgil Abloh released following the release of the first 10 Off-White Nike collaborations, and it's a fascinating read. You really get into the details of Abloh's philosophy, how he approached each design of the 10 icons, one of which, of course, was the Nike BLAZER. The Nike BLAZER was the first Nike basketball shoe. Of course, they've gone on to more or less dominate the basketball shoe market since then, and it was one of the first shoes to have this, the Nike swoosh. I believe the Cortez was the very first one earlier in the year, but once this model got on the feet of the Iceman, George Gervin, it really set Nike on the path to essentially global shoe dominance. Granted, it wasn't really to the 80s that Nike really took off as the brand in athletic wear, but you know, you can kind of trace its origins back to this shoe. One of Virgil Abloh's MOs is to recontextualize an object, in this case, the Nike BLAZER, so you kind of reconsider what you think you might really know about it. And just like the other colorway that was released in conjunction with the 10, he's taken an approach he calls revealing when approaching the design of the shoe. So what that means is that he takes the shoe as we know it and starts cutting away at it, revealing more or less kind of the inner workings of the shoe. So the original BLAZER is either made of leather or suede, and Abloh utilizes both for his reimagining, along with some sort of mesh material here on the outer side, on the toe box. And this outer side especially really looks like what could have been underneath the huge piece of leather that would otherwise form the upper construction of a BLAZER. And then you got this huge swoosh, and it goes down, covers up part of the outsole, and you start to think to yourself, why is this swoosh so large? It dominates the shoe. And then you realize, oh, this is one of the first shoes that had the swoosh. This is maybe the first Nike shoe to be featured on TV with the swoosh, thanks to George Gervin sporting these on the hardwood. This shoe might have been what kicked off the whole Nike is dominant global athletic brand empire thing. It's fascinating that he has found a way to design a series of sneakers, recontextualize some of Nike's most iconic shoes in a way that makes you think about the history of the sneakers themselves. I don't really know of any other shoe designer that's really taking that approach. So it's a shoe steeped in a ton of history. Virgil Abloh has found a way to represent that history in a very interesting and striking way, like he has with pretty much all his other reconstructions. And it's really fascinating looking into his aesthetic, his philosophy, his methodology. And again, if you haven't read the 10 Icons Reconstructed, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic read. Give it a look. That does it for us today. I know I've been a little slow getting these videos up. I might have to adjust the release schedule somewhat, try to do them every other week just based on time and availability of shoes and whatnot. But I really want to get on a more regular schedule. So look for that coming up. Until next time, I'm Larson. Hearty handshake. We'll see you later.